Hi everyone, I'm Cloud. Before we begin, just a quick reminder. This video is for informational purposes only and reflects my personal views. It does not constitute financial advice. The cryptocurrency market carries high risks. Please do your own research and consult a professional advisor before investing. Any predictions or analysis mentioned in this video may not be accurate, and you are solely responsible for your investment decisions. I'm not liable for any financial losses.
Let's first review last week's market and then talk about the outlook for the coming week. Last week was from August 11th to August 17th. Bitcoin closed its weekly high at $124,474, hitting all of the targets. The weekly low was $116,435. Since it never broke below our midline, we don't need to look any further down. Ethereum closed its weekly high at $4,789, reaching 2 of the targets. The low was $4,153, and since it didn't break the midline, we don't need to look further either. The previous all-time high was $4,795. It missed it by just a little bit. When Ethereum broke above 4,000, I already confirmed that it was going to challenge the all-time high. But I made a big mistake on timing. Ethereum actually reached my expectation earlier, on the 13th. You know, I had hoped it would drop before the 13th, but it was simply too strong, and even now I still don't understand what exactly was going on astrologically. This has been the most difficult market move I've tracked so far. The trend was really confusing, and it wore me out. Bitcoin, after August 11th, made a new high, but then immediately weakened. At first glance, the trend looked like it matched the idea of going up from the 9th to the 13th, then falling from the 14th. But actually, it wasn't exactly like that, since some altcoins already started dropping on the 9th. And at the current level, the market also isn't dropping further, so it's very likely we'll see a rebound. The only question is whether it'll be a strong rebound or just a weak one. Now let's look at what happened on the 9th, when I posted my last video. I told you that the technical indicators had spiked to the top, and a drop could come at any time. Ethereum was exactly at that position. And after I released the video, it started to fall. Most altcoins dropped a lot. Their indicators only corrected back to the midline after that. But Ethereum, you see, only dropped a tiny bit, and its indicators already corrected that much. That shows just how strong it was. That's why I couldn't fully confirm my judgment. The market was just too confusing. But what I'm certain about is that Ethereum will challenge a new high. The only question is whether it will actually break 5,000. Now looking back, the big red candle on August 14th was really damaging. The close of the day didn't recover. Since then, it has been weak near the bottom. If that candle could have recovered at least half of its length, then there would still have been a chance for a new high. I was hoping it could stand above that level in the following 2 days, but it didn't. If it manages to turn strong again later, it would have to be a forced push by the main players. Ethereum and the major altcoins have shown similar moves, but ADA performed especially well this time, really outstanding. Among the major coins, it was the only one that had a strong rise. I was originally expecting $1.2 because I had noticed before that it usually reached about that level. This coin often makes a sudden big green candle in moments of despair, but unfortunately, this time ADA still got suppressed by Bitcoin and Ethereum. I have to remind some beginners here, this kind of market carries very high risk. Market tops are designed to trap people, which is why the moves are so tricky. If you just suddenly get interested and follow a YouTuber to buy in, it's actually very dangerous. Because everyone's situation is different. No one knows your exact entry point, your position size, how much risk you can take, or when you plan to sell. So, the best advice I can give is, only invest money you can sleep peacefully with, or cash out immediately once you've made a profit. Unless one day you can listen to someone's analysis and clearly tell which parts don't make sense, instead of just relying on others to decide your buy or sell. You need to build the right understanding of investing. Now let's also talk about August 13th, when Jupiter entered the Punarvasu nakshatra. Last time I said this star tends to repeat things, or repeat them multiple times. Look at Bitcoin's long upper wick. Right away I thought of the possibility that it was copying the move from the previous top. I remember I might have warned about this before, that it could repeat the previous peak. I couldn't find it quickly, but it should have been in my daily report. You can see both times it got pushed down by 2 long upper wicks. Doesn't it look like a clone? back when the price was rising, I already mentioned the possibility of a double top. If this really is copying the previous move, then the same applies to the altcoins. For example, ADA's rebound might look similar, and if we look at Solana, it may also rebound to a similar level with a similar move. In fact, most coins that follow Bitcoin's trend are the same. That means, as I said, if they can't even reach halfway up that August 14th candle, then they don't have the momentum. Now, next week is from August 18th to August 24th. I won't read out the exact price levels here. I'll just post them on the screen so you can take a screenshot if you like. Bitcoin still needs to hold steady above $119,400 before we can expect higher targets. Ethereum needs to hold steady above $4,455 before we can expect higher targets. When that big red candle dropped on August 14th, I already warned that this candle must not break down. It had to recover. Otherwise, the trend would weaken or even collapse. If the low of that candle is broken, which is around $117,000, then the price would likely head down toward around $115,000. But right now, it's just hovering around this price area on purpose, making it hard for anyone to judge. At this level, it's really difficult to make a new high. That's why I've shifted my outlook to a weak rebound without expecting a new high. That's the safer view, because at this stage, only the main players can decide whether to push it up again. If the price were hovering near $120,000, then I would definitely think another new high was still possible. But at the current level, I can't guarantee that. So, I can only view it as weak. Finally, the most important key date next week is August 23rd. From that day, we'll start to look bearish. Basically, that will end the new high phase and begin a new correction. And the astrology for September also won't be easy. Let's keep going together. Alright, that's it for today. Weekly forecasts should never be viewed alone. They must be combined with daily and monthly charts. The daily charts fill in what the weekly might miss. I wish you all the best. May you buy at the bottom and sell at the top. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you found this helpful. Send this to your friends too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.